NFL on EA Sports.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
A loss of a yard.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
On second and 11 now. Watson, he finds Smith out of the backfield. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and they'll be faced with a third and inches.
Third and inches.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
He'll buy some time right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Well, the pressure just couldn't get to him that time. They forced him out to his right, but he held his poise, surveyed the field, didn't find anything he liked, and then took off and picked up a nice gain.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Here's Watson. He's got Jack Doyle. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got fourth and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. This is Jones. The numbers for Jones last week, 15 carries, 66 yards.
And partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 16 yards, a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he shot to tackle. Now he's got some space. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Haskins on 1st down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Jalen Smith. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
A 32-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead.
Chargers, nothing.
Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Room here to run. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 43 yards on the ground. A wet track like this, I don't know if it helps anybody, but it probably helps the offensive player running the ball more than the defense.
And while they're doing that, there's also the matter of focus. Not letting the elements get in the way of still doing everything you're supposed to do. Although you do think to yourself, I've got to hold it a little bit tighter and be more careful with my footing.
He was careful, got a big run out of it. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, here's Watson. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
Steps away to his left. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Smith trying to run for it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Ito Smith. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score.
Justin Hopkins set to kick
Now
off.
he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken in the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he's got his man on the out route.
Haskins.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That's a gain of 10.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 30.
So here are the Chargers to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. He rifles one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Green's got it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Haskins pass.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Defensively.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing again, here's Haskins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. This short throw caught by Goddard. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Gain of 7 brings up
nice rhythm fill there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That's good.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Haskins going to throw again. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So the roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, and Charles, the defender, needs to know to stop there.
We've been talking about it for years. You essentially get one step after the quarterback throws his pass. Anything close to that or beyond that, you're going to get flagged.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up
line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, it's Haskins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Haskins pass intended for Aaron Jones. Incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
The field goal, a 21-yard attempt.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all, and the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
first down. Watson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
16 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again, Watson. Catch made here by Campbell. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
On the play. Out of bounds. The offense retains possession.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
The keeper. Incomplete on the throwaway. It's now second and 10.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Watson taken in by the tight end Doyle. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Los Angeles.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
Makes the score.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it.
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
The 37-yard line.
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up second and 1.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They go backwards there 2 yards, and second and 1 is now third and 3.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Haskins on third down. Going to go to Clement here out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Jones. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Dallas Goedert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
First and 10. At their own 23-yard line.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson now to throw. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Well, they've got to remember that they're not going to get it all back on one drive. But that being said, they also had to come out here in the 3rd quarter with a sense of urgency and playmaking ability. And they showed it on that last play.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. This to Jarwin. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. This is Carson. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have once again taken the lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. And it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Dolphins 13. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Greg Stroman on the return. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10. at their own 20.
Miami set to take over. It seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago, the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
We
That was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
Haskins' pass thrown away and incomplete. Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Haskins out of the gun. He finds Corey Davis. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Gain of 9.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line.
That's the end of the
Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now left side on the swing pass, and he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That catch good for only a couple.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. To stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay game, offense.
That's not good enough, man.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson looking for Campbell downfield, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You always think about picking up the 1st down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield, unable to connect, but admire the effort.
And he's able to get it out of there. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. From midfield now, Haskins.
Haskins' pass.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
2nd and 10 now, Haskins. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle.
Dallas Goedert.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
1st and 10.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Haskins on 1st down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones.
Haskins pass.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
Brings up 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Haskins back to the air. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 23. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Fletcher Cox, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, it's Haskins. They will find Davis. That's complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. The kick by Crosby is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages.
Ties the game at 16.
So a big kick to get this back to even. And now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
They're on 24.
L.A. readies for its next possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Here's Carson. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here we go now with Smith. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Well, defensively, that's a nice stop there on 3rd down here in the 4th quarter. Now, offensively, kicking the field goal, taking the lead, right?
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Especially since you got stopped on the previous play. But if you've got something you really like, something that you've practiced all week, and you think, hey, this is the time to use it, this is the play, I wouldn't be deterred. I would gamble a little bit and go for it right now.
And they're not going to get the kick off in time.
Dive game offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute.
16.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So the Dolphins now down by a field goal, a little over 20 seconds to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Green. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Chargers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins,